Between September and October of 2000, Zacarias Moussaoui would visit Malaysia twice and stay at the very condominium where an al-Qaeda summit meeting was held between January 5th to January 8th. After the summit, Malaysia intelligence kept watch on the condominium at the request of the CIA. However, the CIA stopped the surveillance before Moussaoui arrived, spoiling a chance to expose the 9/11 plot by monitoring Moussaoui's later travels. The Malaysians later say they were surprised by the CIA's lack of interest. Rais Yahim, Malaysia's legal affairs minister, will tell Newsweek, quote, "We really couldn't fathom it. There was no show of concern," end quote. During his stay in Malaysia, Moussaoui would tell Jemma Islamiyyah operative Faiz Abu Bakr Bafara, at whose apartment he stayed for one night, that he had a dream about flying an airplane into the White House, and that he had told bin Laden about this, and that bin Laden gave him approval for doing it. They also discuss purchasing ammonium nitrate. Moussaoui says that Malaysia and Indonesia should be used as a base for operations for financing jihad, but that attack should be focused against the United States. While Moussaoui is in Malaysia, Yazid Sufat, the owner of the condominium for the al-Qaeda summit meeting, signs letters falsely identifying Moussaoui as a representative of his wife's company. When Moussaoui is later arrested in the United States about a month before the 9/11 attacks, this letter is in his possession and could have led investigators back to the condominium and the connections with the Malaysia summit had they gotten approval for a FOIA warrant. Moussaoui's belongings also contain phone numbers that could have linked him to Ramzi bin al-Shibh, who was actually a participant at the meeting. The CIA station in Islamabad, Pakistan, writes a cable noting that further connections have been made between the participants at Malaysia and an Indonesia summit group terrorist organization called Jemma Islamiyyah. However, a lot of this information is not passed over to domestic authorities inside the United States. Bafana would later receive an Arab visitor just days later after Moussaoui left. They discuss attacks on U.S. interests in Singapore. Bafara knows the Arab only as Bandar, but this is not his real name, as it appears that Bandar is an alias for future 9/11 hijacker Khalid al-Mihdhar. Al-Mihdhar again would return to Yazid Sufat's apartment and travel to Afghanistan after the meeting in the month of October of 2000.